Let's walk through how you can use task actions in ProcessKit to automatically do things when a task or a step in a process has been completed. So I'm going to go into one of my processes. I'm going to go into our new customer onboarding process, and I'm going to scroll down to one of the steps in this process that I want to trigger some automations. We'll actually go to the last step in this process. We're going to open it up, and we're going to go to the Task Actions panel. That's this one. And we're going to start adding some actions to occur whenever this task is completed. The first one will be sending an email notification to some people. So we can customize the name of this action, or we can just leave it as notify someone. First, we could start to select some users inside my ProcessKit account, so team members, and I want these two people to get a notification. And maybe, there's somebody else outside of your organization that also needs to be notified when a particular task has been completed. You can enter their email address here. If you've got multiple people, you can separate them with a comma. So we're going to create that notification action. Let's add a few more things. Next, let's apply a process. So we want to add this start a new campaign process. So whenever we complete this task, another task list will be created using this process. Next, we also want to move the project from whatever board it's currently in into a different board. So let's select the marketing campaigns board. And we have the option here to include whatever preloaded processes are set on this board. Same with the preloaded fields, meaning when we move it into this board, whatever processes are set to preload on projects in that board will also be applied. Or if we want to skip those, we can do that. In this case, I'm going to apply the fields, but I'm not going to apply the processes because we have another action that will be applying our process for us. So you kind of have that choice to do it one way or the other. Next, let's add and remove some tags. I'm going to select a couple of tags that I want to add to the project. And I'm going to select some tags that will need to be removed. So what this means is if the project doesn't already have these tags, then it will add them. And if the project has any of these tags, then they will be removed. Finally, let's send a webhook. So this one is more for the developers who want to integrate ProcessKit with their custom application. If your custom application has an API endpoint that can accept a webhook, you can put that URL here, and ProcessKit will send a webhook containing all of the data from the current task and the current project, and even the client data, if that's associated with the project. All of that will be wrapped into the webhook that is sent. All right, so now that we have these task actions built into our process, let's actually go run them on a real project. So I'm going to go into one of my boards, and we're first going to create a new project, which will pull in that process that had the task actions on it. All right, so I have this project. It's currently in the client onboardings board, and it pulled in this process, which is now a task list. And we're going to start checking off these tasks. Now, once we get up to this last one, remember that's the one that has the task actions set on it, and you can see that with this icon here. Before we complete it, let's open this up so that you can see what's going to happen. And when we complete this task, all of these actions have now completed, and we can see that that happened by seeing these check marks here. 3 email notifications were sent off. This process was applied to the current project. We moved this project to a different board. We changed some of the tags. We added 2 and we removed 2, and we sent off a webhook. So if we look into the activity for this task, you can see some of those actions that were taken here in the activity, including the webhook details. So that will contain the URL that it was sent to and all of the webhook data. These events are also logged in the main activity feed for the project as well. You can see everything here. Now, all of these automated task actions will occur anytime this task is marked as complete, whether a person on your team marked it complete or some external integration, like from a Zapier integration. If one of those marks a task as complete, those two would cause any task actions to occur as long as they're set on that task.